this Tonglen practice that you present that has come down from the Guma is so brilliantly expedient, I would say. It sort of uses the Tonglen from the Bodhisattva practice and then synthesizes it with the Vajrayana practice of visualization and transformation and mantras and so forth. So it's really very effective and powerful, I think. But the first step in the practice is really to, as you said, to get in touch with our Buddha nature. And that involves really sort of seeing openness and the emptiness of freeing one's mind from any kind of preconceptions, prejudices, biases, sort of to totally empty the mind. And I know Chekawa Ishidorji, who is the other great master promoting Tonglen, he does with his presentation of the ultimate bodhicitta of realizing emptiness. Here you have this first step of getting in touch with Buddha nature. But when you take this practice to people who are not familiar with Buddhist philosophy or who are not familiar with Buddhism in general, do you find it difficult to sort of even relate this first practice to them? Do you get reactions where people don't actually get the first step itself?
Well, I also start with the complete emptiness, openness, and letting go of everything and just resting in open awareness. And then with people that are not familiar at all, I either say to have the Vajra of light or just a sphere of light, like just a small ball of light. But no, I've taught to all kinds of people and they relate completely to it. They really love it. And I've even taught with the bishop of our cathedral in San Francisco, the Episcopal Cathedral, and he very much loves it. And he wanted me to teach it to his people for climate change and everything. And a lot of people really related to it. Even in the South, in the Southern United States, people learned it and they very much liked it. So I found the opposite actually, but I give them the option of not just a Vajra, but a sphere of light. And they liked it very much.
That's
and I gave them the option of, instead of Chenrezig, and I learned these options from Kala Rinpoche actually. He also would adapt for priests and different people to their own religion. He said like they could adapt for their own religion. So I gave him the option of having Jesus instead of Chenrezig. So Kala Rinpoche told us that was okay. So I give that option. So Kala Rinpoche said like that, so I also gave the option.
Wonderful. And also one of the sort of questions or curiosity that I have is when you take this to people as a psychotherapeutic practice, then you come across a lot of people who don't even believe that we are good by nature. Now, people believe we are sort of by nature egocentric, the selfish genes and so forth. So it's quite difficult to convince people that we are loving and compassionate by nature. Do you come across people like that? And how do you convince them when you come across such people?
Well, I'm quite shy. So usually people only come to me for counseling because I'm a Lama, usually. So they already come thinking that there is compassion. So usually, and when I worked in community mental health, then, I would tread slowly. I walk slowly, and I would only give things that people were open to because I'm a quite shy person, so I only give things if people are open. So, but I think, it's really funny. Like one time I was in the hospital and I found like all the nurses were like so wonderful. And there was one nurse that was very grouchy, but I saw on her name tag, her name was Angela, which of course means angel. And so, but she was very grouchy, and all the other nurses were so loving that they were like, kind of like angels, you know, but she was named Angela, but she was so grouchy. So, but then I just started talking to her, and after a little bit, she turned out to be the most loving of all of them, you know. So I think it's like the Dalai Lama says, if you approach people with loving kindness, a lot of times they turn out to be quite nice in the end. They kind of melt if you approach with a lot of kindness, but not forcing them to anything. I think forcing people is the wrong thing. Just approach them on the ground where they are. But also I admire people, like there was a fellow who joined the Ku Klux Klan, which is a very racist, uptight organization in America. And he went in for many years, and then he changed the mind of like 5 of their leaders, and they all quit being Ku Klux Klan because after some years, and I could not do that, but I very, very much admire him.